Evening, good
Hello,
evening.
sir.
Srikanth,
Srikanth Kuttikrishnan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear esteemed guests. I cordially welcome you all to the 751st meeting of the Chennai Toastmasters Club. I'm Iran Person, I'm your president of AMS for this evening. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to be communication and leadership.
you are not audible, Abhinami.
Rami, audio.
Sorry?
You are
You
not
are
audible.
not audible.
Hold on. Sorry, am I audible now?
Yeah, very well.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Kindly remain on mute unless it's your turn to speak. And while speaking, please refrain from taboo topics such as politics, sex, or religion. Lastly, if you want to pass on any message to the rest of the people in the group, please use the chat box right below. Without any further ado, let me hand over control to the presiding officer of today's meeting. He is a senior Toastmaster associated with the club since 2011 and is currently working in the finance department of Sundaram Clayton Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the president of our club, Toastmaster Guruvairappan. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Abhinami. First of all, I am not working in finance department. I am working in information systems department. That's a small correction I just want to make sure. First of all, I declare of meeting number 751 open. So, and at last week we had a wonderful meeting of milestone meeting, 750th meeting. Our international president attended our honored with his esteemed presence, and he attended the entire session. It was an honor for us. It was privilege to honor to host him, and also our district trio also attended. Everyone said meeting went on well. So I extend my gratitude and thankfulness to all CTM role players on and off behind the screen, as well as who acted straight up and who took part in direct roles and indirectly contributed to success. Wholehearted thankfulness and gratitude to you. Thanks to you. Kudos to you. Excellent job to all role players. Thank you. Without much ado, I hand over control to the young dynamic Toastmaster, Srikanth Kuttikrishnan, who is working in Southern Railways, and he will be the master of ceremony for today's meeting. In Toastmasters, we call it as Toastmaster of the Day. So, Toastmaster of the Day, Srikanth Kuttikrishnan, stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. In fact, it is the first Diwali gift that I have got today, young and dynamic. Thank you very much. It really puts a lot of energy into my speaking today, being young and energetic. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's an honor to be your master of ceremonies, or in Toastmasters terminology, we call Toastmaster of the Day. I would be with you right throughout the meeting. I would be speaking to you on the theme of today's meeting, and I would also be sharing some interesting information about today's theme, and which is a triumph of the light, which literally means to me that in these unprecedented times, when most of us have gone through a lot of anxiety, stress, and trauma, there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. I'm sure you would be able to understand what I'm trying to refer. We have been going through this, and with this coming of the festive season in India, I'm sure we are really looking forward to a better future for all of us. And today's theme is basically associated with the festival that celebrated across the length and breadth of India. Diwali is called in North India, Deepavali in South India. Various names, Jains, Buddhism, all of them have Diwali as a major celebration in their calendar. So to give you a brief idea about Deepavali, according to Professor Jain of North Texas University, United States of America, he has done quite a bit of research on the origin of Deepavali, and he says it has two aspects. One which is believed in northern part of India, where according to mythology, the Indian king Rama, who had been sent on exile for 14 years to the forest by his parents, returned to the homeland. He came back to Ayodhya in India. And during these 14 years in exile, he had a very strong and a very bitter battle that he fought against the demon king, Ravana. And the battle was mainly because King Rama's wife, Sita, was abducted by Ravana and held captive in Sri Lanka. And it's so interesting that King Rama had an army of monkeys to get the job done. And the monkeys were instrumental in building a bridge in the southern tip of Tamil Nadu, connecting Sri Lanka. It was known as Ceylon previously. And they won this battle and they were returning with victory in their hands and his beautiful wife, Sita. And they had a very grand reception in Ayodhya. That's one thought about celebration of Diwali in northern part of India. And when you look at the southern part of India, according to Professor Jain, Pankaj Jain, he says in southern part of India's mythology is totally different. He says King Krishna, who according to Hindu mythology was an avatar, was an incarnation, he was instrumental in releasing about 16,000 women and children who were held, literally, they were held prisoners by a king in southern part of Gujarat. So he relieved them, he got them freed and they went back to their homes. And Deepavali is celebrated in an occasion of triumph, of light, where there was darkness until then, the whole of India, and light had started coming in. People started seeing the better things of their life every day since Deepavali began. These are the two aspects of Deepavali. And I'm going to share a little more interesting facts about Deepavali, the origin and what it really means to each and every one of us, especially during these hard times. Okay, now getting to the main segment of today's meeting. Toastmasters meeting universally has three different segments. In fact, today we have another two add-on segments, a small segment, two add-on segments. I'll let you know what that is all about. But the main three segments are, the first one is prepared speech. We have three brilliant speakers for you. Prepared speech is what these speakers prepare from a certain objective that is being given in their project. According to the objectives, they prepare their speech. They come forward, they're going to come before you and they're going to deliver their speech. And the second one is the most interesting and most fun part. It is like a circus. Anything, anywhere can happen. It's such a beautiful segment and all of us are looking forward for that. And guests especially, you'll be very happy to be a part of this. This is called the table topic. As the name suggests, table topic is nothing but impromptu speaking. I mean, you just speak, you don't get to know on what topic you're supposed to speak until your name is called and you're given the topic then and there. Very interesting, whatever in your mind you can speak. And the best part is you get to know how good a speaker you are when you participate in this table topic. So the third part is the evaluation part. See, all of us are very anxious, especially when during our student days, when we go through our exams and tests, we always make a lot of preparation and we attempt to give our best. But it's not over until we get to know the results of our test. Evaluation is such place where a general evaluator, I'll be introducing him now. A general evaluator would be having a team of evaluators who would give the merits and demerits of the speakers and the different role players, how they have done, what could be better, and how they can excel in themselves during the forthcoming meeting. So this is a brief idea about how today's meeting is going to unfold. And as I told you, to add on value added service for today's meeting is we're going to have an idiom master and a quote master. They're going to share a couple of idioms, quotes. So now there's another major role player today's meeting who's going to take care of the entire evaluation. And today's general evaluator is a very promising person who is very inspiring, who always has a word of suggestion for people who look up to him for any kind of suggestions and inspiration. He's the reigning president of our club. He's the current president. Is none other than Toastmaster Guru Ayyappan. Toastmaster Guru Ayyappan, can you please share with us what your objectives as a general evaluator is going to be? Over to you, Toastmaster Guru Ayyappan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth. So, as a general evaluator, my role is to note down all the events that are happening in a meeting right from the start till the end. For me, I have two teams to support me. One set of team called a tag team, timer, out counter, and grammarian team. And another set of team is to evaluate the prepared speakers. I will introduce the second set of speakers at the end of PT section. But now let me introduce the tag team. First, timer. Let me introduce the timer, Satyaraj. Please explain briefly about your roles. Toastmaster Satyaraj.
Hello. Very good evening, Toastmaster.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. First, this is my first timer role. So, first I will be wish to all upcoming Diwali festival. Now, I take roles and responsibility for timer. As a timer, I will take time the table topic speakers and formal speeches and evaluations. I will also allot each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red card. Just a moment, I will share my screen. So, table topic speaker should limit the time remark to no more than 2 minutes. 1 minute, I will 1 minute I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At end under 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. In formal speech should be 5 to 7 minutes in the length. At the 15 minute, I will raise the green card. At the 16 minute, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minute, I will raise the red card. After the end of the meeting, I will report it to a general evaluator. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Satyaraj, for explaining your role clearly. Now, it is my turn to introduce our counter for today. Our counter for today's meeting is Toastmaster Manoj. Manoj, can you please explain your role for today's meeting for the benefit of guests?
Thank you, General Evaluator. As rightly the timer has said, this too is a debate meeting for debate role playing as an out-counter in the CTM for me. And fellow Toastmasters, very good evening to all of you. The objective of the out-counter is to lighten the moment as well as to add on the strength of the speakers by identifying the words or fillers used as crutch, such as and, well, but so, and you know, or sounds like a, like that, and then report it as and when I'm called upon to present it by the General Evaluator. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manoj, for wonderfully explaining your roles and rules. And now it is my turn to introduce the grammarian Deepak Thompson. Grammarian Deepak Thompson, please explain your role briefly for the benefit of Toastmasters and guests.
Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan, our Toastmaster of the day, and my fellow Toastmasters, I would like to, I have taken a role as grammarian. As a role of grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take a note of any misusage of the English language, as well as outstanding usage. I will point out any improvements. And as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. My word of the day today is glimpse. I quick meaning. It is the meaning of it is a quick look, to see partially. A glimpse. That is what a glimpse is. Example: I just took a glimpse of today's agenda. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Deepak Thompson, for your briefly explaining your roles and your rules. So now I will submit my report at the end of the meeting when called upon after table topic section when called upon by Toastmaster of the day. Now handing over control back to Toastmaster of the day, Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. Srikanth, stage is yours.
Well, that was the general evaluator explaining his roles and responsibilities for this afternoon's meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster Guru Ayyappan. The next person that I'm going to introduce to you is, what can I say? He's a legend, to be very frank. The various aspects of his life, wherever he has focused, he has always been known for his integrity and his creativity, and also sharing very novel ideas of how the activity that he has taken can be grown and it can be spread. He is a chartered accountant by profession, and also one of the founding fathers, I would say, of CTM, a pillar of strength. Even today, after several years, almost close to 16 years since CTM was founded, this person, a distinguished Toastmaster, I would say rather, is looked upon across Chennai, across Tamil Nadu, and across India for his wise counsel and how to revive any club which is just a bit shaky and not doing at par with the other clubs. He is going to be today's court master, and our court master for this afternoon's meeting is none other than distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria. Please join me in welcoming distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria. Over to you.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
sir.
Ah. Thank you, Toastmaster Kuttikrishnan, for the kind words. Let's have a glimpse of a few quotes. Last month or last week or even yesterday, you were worried about something. For that, Dale Carnegie said, today is the tomorrow you worried yesterday. Today is the tomorrow you worried yesterday. Some things, someone cannot be changed even with the best of our effort. Example, a spouse or your boss. For that, Dale Carnegie said, cooperate with the inevitable. Cooperate with the inevitable. If I had known this quote earlier in my life, I would have been more positive. For that, this is my favorite. Unjust criticism is a disguised compliment. Unjust criticism is a disguised compliment. In TV debate, television debate, or after a game, you can watch someone defending themselves. Here is a quote. It is from my end. Okay. When you lose, do not justify it. When you win, you don't have to justify it also. Thank you. Let's see the light of triumph at the end. Thank you. Over to the TMOD.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria. Having heard quotes, and it's going to make a whole picture unless we have idiom. And today's idiom master is Toastmaster Kalvat. He works for a information technology company, a senior Toastmaster who's a very interesting person to have a chat with, always comes up with a lot of ideas, and all that he knows, he shares with others. And it was the first person that I met when I joined CTM in the year 2018. And he was very inspiring, and I always hold him in very high esteem for his kind words and also encouraging me to take up various roles. Please join me in welcoming our idiom master, Toastmaster Kalvat. Toastmaster Kalvat, It's for you to share the idiom.
Thank you so much for the detailed introduction, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Today, I'm going to play the role of idiom master. Hope you would have had a wonderful lunch. Even I too had a yummy biryani. It's just out of the world. And my brother's sons were fighting for the yummy biryani. I went there nearby. They were still fighting. I said, keep your shirt on. Suddenly, they removed the shirt and started fighting again. I was clueless. Today, I've used two idioms. The first idiom is out of the world. It means the extremely good. The second idiom is keep your shirt on. It means calm down. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm handing over the control to Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalvat. So we had quite an interesting session of a quote master giving us a few quotes and idiom master giving us a couple of idioms. And now let's get back to some serious business. The first part of today's meeting, as I reminded you earlier, is going to be the prepared speech. We have 3 speakers lined up for you. Before I call the first speaker, I have a person who's going to evaluate his speech. And today's evaluator for the first speaker is a Toastmaster, Lakshmi Narayana. Lakshmi Narayana is going to evaluate our first speaker. And I request Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana to give us the objectives of the first speaker's speech. And then I would be introducing you to the first speaker. Over to Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana.
Thank you, Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today, Toastmaster Vijayarajan is delivering his speech for the project evaluation and feedback pathways level 1 innovative planning. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback from evaluator, and apply the feedback to a second speech. I wish Vijayarajan all the best. And timer, please note the time for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Vijayarajan. And the title of his speech is very interesting. It says, and I quote, "Why the world failed to Corona, an untold perspective." I repeat, why the world failed to Corona, an untold perspective. Toastmaster Vijayarajan, over to you.
Thank you, T. Modi. COVID-19, a novel virus. This is what the world says. What's novel in this virus? What is new to this virus? The entire world tries to deceive us, saying that this is a new, unexpected virus that has come to this world. But when the Second World War ended in 1918, it was predicted that next World War is going to be biowar, which means yes, a powerful virus, even powerful virus than the virus which we have received in this present day, which can be wiped off with the life soap. Why the world failed to Corona? Today, I will decode you the secret. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Before I complete my speech, at least 10,000 people in this world, 10,000 employees in this world would be discussing why strawberry condom is not selling in this particular area, why dotted condom is selling in that particular area. Before I complete my speech, at least 10 lakhs people in this world will be discussing why lemon fragrance soap is selling and why fragrance soap is not selling and why this fragrance soap is selling. Before I complete my speech, at least a 10 crore population in this world will be brainstorming regarding the wrapper, what kind of wrapper has to be designed in what way for a product which has already been developed. Hope you would have come to the conclusion what I'm going to say. Today we failed to COVID-19 because of the system, the wastage of human resource, 500 crores of population, the wage of human resource or duplication of the human resource for the job which has already been done. The entire world, normally you would have heard people talking about corporate exploitation, how corporate world exploits. Even if it is not Diwali, corporate world would have find out another way to sell their crackers. But the reality is world has given you a stick. They used to say, Kuttu Kalavani, partner in the crime. Each and every individual in this world has been given a share in the crime. Indirectly, all exploiting the resources of this world. Today, we have lost to Corona because the 500 crore population is working towards the fictional entity instead of working towards the real world, reality world. Money is a fictional entity. Air is a reality. Stock market is a fictional entity. Water is a reality. Reserve Bank of India is a fictional entity. Coronavirus is a reality. The 500 crore population of this world, the entire world, is working towards fictional entities to describe in detail. If you go and give 10 rupees to a monkey which is having 2 bananas to give the banana, monkey will not accept because monkey wants a reality. It will not accept your fictional entity. But this 500 crore population, taking the fictional entity, it will give you the reality. That is banana, the real banana. Today, this 500 crore population, if you want honey, it comes from bees, which created food for itself. Where do you take milk? Milk secreted for the kids, for the calf by the cow. Somebody is eating fish in Kolkata. Is for the sea. This 500 crore population is taking all the resources of this world. And this 500 crores of population is working for fictional entities. You would have heard people saying, I like microbiology, but I have taken BEIT because I want to get better salary. I want to get into a better job. Today, the nation has become market. People have become consumers. This is the reason why we are not able to focus on the real world, the reality world. We are always focusing, all the 500 crores of population is focusing towards the fictional entities which do not really exist. So at last we have fell a victim for an unreal virus, for the real virus. To conclude, this COVID-19 corona is just a tip of an iceberg. It is not the iceberg. It is a symptom of a problem which you are going to face, a bigger problem which you are going to face in the future. This is not at all a problem. Over to you, Tia Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijayarajan. Well, we need to focus on reality than focus on fiction. Thank you very much for enlightening us of what needs to be done to overcome this corona crisis and other issues that you were discussing with us. Thank you very much for that speech. And the second speaker, before I call, it's usually the evaluator who has to give us the objectives of the speech as the second speaker. And the second evaluator is Toastmaster Ranju, who works with a multinational company. And I request Toastmaster Ranju Ramachandran to please read out the objectives of our second speaker's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Ranju Ramachandran.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. My target speaker is Toastmaster from Visionary Communication Pathways. The speech title is They Have Power and Energy, and the project is creating a podcast. Timer, please note the time is 8 to 10 minutes. 8 minutes green, 9 minutes yellow, 10 minutes red. And the objective of the speech is the purpose is to introduce the skills needed to organize and present a podcast, and is the member to introduce his or her podcast and to present a segment from this podcast. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ranju Ramachandran. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Nanda. He's a techie. And as you've heard the objectives from our evaluator, Toastmaster Nanda is going to present the speech. And I request you to welcome Toastmaster Nanda by giving a thumbs up. And please join me in giving him a thumbs up. Toastmaster Nanda, you have to give your speech right now. Over to you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan, for the awesome welcome to me. A small correction in the timing. So timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please note before I get started the speech.
Okay.
Good evening, listeners. Welcome to my podcast. I'm sure all of you here have an excellent, great day. Let me start my podcast with a short, small, sweet story. A 10-year-old boy came back from the school with a small letter. He gave the letter to his mother and was anxiously looking at her as she was reading it. "Mom, what is there in the letter?" he asked. Mother gently smiled, tapped on his face, and then said, "Let me read out loud the letter for you. Your son is a genius. He is so intelligent that none of our teachers in the school would be able to do justice to his talent. Please consider him to put in another school with even more excellent teachers where his talents can be fully utilized and he would reach a great level in life." Saying this, the mother smiled at the boy and said, "Okay, son, let's move on." She took him away from the school and then she started to coach him herself. She took him to a lot of libraries. She took him to great teachers. She took him to a lot of science laboratories, etc. And over time, the boy did excellently well and went on and grew up to become one of the greatest scientists and inventors ever seen in this world. The great scientist was ultimately given the Nobel Prize for all his effort. The years went on and on and on, and one day his mother left this world due to old age and sickness. After a while, as he was cleaning her mother's room, he saw an old diary and some memoirs. Inside that, there was a letter, a piece of letter, which the mother read almost 20 years back. He slowly opened the letter and started reading it. "Your son is mentally ill. His presence in the class is disturbing all other students. So we are forced to terminate him from the school. Please find suitable accommodation in a special school." Reading this letter, tears rolled on the son's cheeks, and he fell down before the portrait of his mother and cried inconsolably. This great scientist brought light into a life by inventing the electric bulb. And his work on telecommunication is one of the reasons why today we are all together in a podcast. Yes, he is Sir Dr. Thomas Alva Edison, one of the greatest inventors and scientists in the world as ever produced. Dear listeners, the words we speak have the power and energy to completely transform someone's life. They can indeed make or break a person. It's sad that as a society, we have become conditioned to talk only about our failures and problems. We moan, we complain about our lives to others. We are constantly putting negative words out there only to become a reality slowly. When you say something aloud enough times, your words will slowly and ultimately will become the truth. Not only in your own mind, but in the minds of everyone. You're saying aloud to the people all around you, and negative thoughts will slowly condition into negative environment that will slowly make your life completely negative. Ask yourself, do you really want to tell yourself and everybody that you are unlucky in studies, you failed in love, you are unsuccessful business, you have a miserable life, you have a loan to pay, you are bored, or what else in life you're complaining about? Do you want to keep on talking about this with people around you? Especially now that you know that it is these exact words that are creating the life that you live ultimately. Dear listeners, I request you to begin choose the words you speak very consciously. Practice improved self-awareness over the words that you use to describe about yourself and your life and every moment of your life. Negative, powerless, birthless words such as can't, shouldn't, needn't, won't should all be tried to be avoided at best. They strip you off of the ability to create a life that you want to live and achieve. As a creator of your own life and its events, what you say eventually will manifest into reality. Therefore, next time when you are about to say some negative words or thoughts, step back, think through, frame your words so that they become a positive vibration and have a positive, real impact on the world. For example, if you would usually say something such as, I am unhealthy and overweight, then why not turn this into a more positive and constructive statement such as, I am in the process of becoming healthier, and every day I am getting closer and closer to my ideal weight. This is a positive way to convey something which is close to reality. I'm sure you all agree with me. So dear listeners, choose your words wisely and positively to create a reality that's good for you and for the world around you. Your words have power and energy. Thank you for tuning in today for today's podcast. Have a great day and life. Goodbye. See you all in the next podcast. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They say words don't break bones, but they do break hearts. Words are very powerful. As one philosopher, I don't exactly remember his name. He said, when you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. So that sums up the entire context or the entire philosophy behind using the right and appropriate words. I remember once I had a very bad experience when I walked into my office a couple of years back. The first person I met, immediately he looked at me and said, Shrikant, are you not all right today? You're looking tired. Oh my God, that few words that I heard started spiraling in my mind, and the whole day was messed up for me, thinking that what went wrong? Am I looking sick? Why did he say that? So I was just wondering, those few words, what he said, really changed my idea of, am I really sick? The words are very powerful. The third speaker, before I call him, I would request his evaluator, Toastmaster Jimmy Patros, who works for a major company, Biocon, to read out the objectives of the third speaker's speech. Over to you, Jimmy Patros.
Toastmaster Srikanth, like I'm the third evaluator.
Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan, Toastmaster Gautam is the evaluator.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I messed up. Toastmaster Gautam is going to evaluate the third speaker, Toastmaster Gautam.
Yeah, thank you. So good evening, Toastmasters, and special good evening for my target speaker, Toastmaster Jason. And today, Toastmaster Jason is attempting his Project 1, Understanding Your Leadership Style, from the level 2 of his path, Persuasive Influence. The objectives of the project is that the purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership style or styles, and the member has to share some aspect of his or her primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. So all the best for my target speaker, Toastmaster Jason. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gautam. Our third speaker is Toastmaster Jason, and the title of his speech is Leaders Are Forged in Crisis. Leaders are forged in crisis. Toastmaster Jason, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. So it's a wonderful experience to come here. Leaders are forged in crisis. The word crisis in a Chinese translation is a two-worded, it's two syllable, and they mean in a different way. One meaning of it is danger, and the other meaning is enthusiasm. Now, you can understand, I'm going to come to a very minimalist type of speech here. Every individual is born very simple. He does not have to, he has to, all he has to do is he has to be sharp in his life. If he thinks of a concept, he can do. Now, I'm comparing this with an organ in our body. When we are hungry, something tells us that we have to eat. When we have to breathe, some part in our body tells us to breathe. Similarly, the mind and the human body is very planned and organized to do our actions. Unfortunately, though it is very easy to do it, our mind gets baffled and boggled by all these either distractions or anticipations, and we fear to do what we have to do. I repeat, any person can take up any task and do it. It is only these external fears and internal fears, or internal fears of externalities, that make us to, make a mistake. Now, next is the taking action part. Is it difficult to take an action? Formally, we have to just plan something and do it. But what do we do? If on the verge of planning, we have lots of apprehensions. What if this happens? What if that happens? So, on the verge of doing these things, just because of these so-called thoughts in our mind, we leave away. A leader, every person can be a leader, and all that a leader has to do is look within himself, have a serene thought, think what he wants to accomplish, first he gets a spark. The spark is then given a shape and a structure. The structure and the shape given to that thought is then thought about as an end process. When we work backwards, we come back to getting an idea of what we have to do. This is all about how a leader has to be. It may sound simple, but as some speaker already shared, the time has become very tumultuous, turbulent. We have some We have a turmoil in our hand. We have Corona at hand. Yet things can happen. I'm not sure how many people remember Sandeep Singh was a person. He was a hockey player. He was in our Indian team. He was traveling on his train. During his journey, a CRPF person who was seated next to him had shot at Sandeep Singh by mistake. Sandeep Singh entered the train with all ambition to go and represent in the national team and then play for the World Cup. This was his aim, and he was so hot and enthusiastic to do it. While travel, when this bullet pierced into his body, it damaged his kidney, his lungs, and his spine. The weight fell on his spine. He was paralyzed, and he was immobile. Now, Sandeep just broke. The accident is one part, and not being part of history was another part of, or at least showing his talents. What happened was, the first day he just asked his brother to give his hockey stick, and he just held it to his chest, and he wanted to just sleep with it because that was his ambition. He came from a poor background. That all that he wanted was to play well. He cried, and then he thought, let me stop crying and let me start into some action. He went into an action. His doctors said that he is more than a corpse. That's all. His life is over. He started working. He had lost 55 kilos, and he had become just he was shredded, his body, because all the strength had gone to his wound. Sandeep Singh started working on his incapabilities, making it capable. 2009, he was brought back to the team. He became the captain of the team, and he started playing. 2010, he received an excellent cup, and then they went for Olympics. Now, what did Sandeep Singh have? And another person would have just left, and I think if you should know, Sandeep Singh is now, right now, he was an MP, and now he's into the sports ministry. So, such examples. When we have time, a person can ask an advice. But in a crisis, a leader just acts. The travails are going to be throughout our life. For Sandeep Singh, it was his bullet injury. For us, it is Corona. There was a person called Shackleton, and he was trying to explore Antarctica. When he went there, his ship got caught in the ice. He had a team. Everything is about a team. A leader he's no one without his team. When he went and he got caught in his team was in deep ice and in Antarctic. And when he was there, Shackleton didn't know how to handle the crisis. This was his second expedition, but he didn't know how to handle it because he never got caught. What he did, he found out the naysayers and the negative people. He kept them as his first circle. He encouraged them and kept them in full control. In fact, food was already a shortage. Yet what he did was he gave a double ration to everyone to eat. What he felt is, if my members or my team members are kept well and kept sturdy, we can win any war. We can win any problem. Shackleton was able to, every day morning, it seems he gets up and comes out fresh as though he's just come to a new day, like with all bath and all fresh, so that he instills the confidence in his team. Shackleton made it out, and so can we. Dear friends, we are all here leaders, and we are all leaders. Everyone is a leader. It just takes an initiative. Till now, we may be in an inertia. Hockey team was in inertia till Sandeep Singh came in, but he came out. Let us also take it as a might. We all have all the potentials we need. Let us not just wait for the negatives, and let us just walk forward. Thank you. Leaders are forged in crisis. Back to you, Team Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jason. You reminded us about the power of our mind, and I also remember there is an old African proverb which literally means that you can overcome anything with the power, positive thinking, and the mind has so much of potential that you can overcome any obstacle. And it goes on to say that your mind can literally make you succeed, or it can pull you down and put you in the dumps. And the proverb, if I remember right, it says, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. It literally means you are your own enemy, and that is the mind. Thank you very much. And with this, we have come to the end of 3 brilliant speakers. We heard all of them talk about different topics. And now I request you that we are going to have polls for the best speaker. You're going to see the polls, the names of the speakers on your screen. And I request the pollster or whoever is doing this poll to show the screen to our viewers so that they can mark the best speaker. And before that, I would like to say something interesting about this Deepavali. According to Professor Vasudha Narayanan from the University of Florida, he goes on to remind us that Deepavali was known in different names almost 2,500 years ago. So she says that it was given the name Deepavali only about 2,500 years before. Before that, it was in various different names. And the interesting part she says is the bursting of crackers, which almost everybody, both adults and the children, look forward, started only about 60 to 70 years ago. And your polls is there. So why don't you mark the ballot? I hope you have marked the ballot.
Yes.
So bursting of crackers is one thing that, apart from sweets and new clothes that all of us wear, most of us celebrate Deepavali. It's kind of a national festival in India. So children are very excited about the Deepavali, but of late, the government of India has been discouraging using of firecrackers, which has a very high decibel, which has very high sound, and which gives us a lot of smoke and fumes, which is environmentally damaging. So there's some restriction on that. And you know what? This year, most of the state governments are banning firecrackers, and not for the sound or not for the environment, which is going to damage or cause some harm, but it is going to make people more prone to corona. And those who have recovered from corona, it's going to make their life miserable, because the air that is there during the Deepavali and a few days after that, what we breathe in is not very good to our lungs. For a healthy person, it is not good. It is literally like smoking about 10 cigarettes at a time. Can you imagine you stuff 10 cigarettes in your mouth and you smoke, and what goes in is what you're going to breathe during this Deepavali firecrackers are burst. So it puts us in a very frequent situation that we become liable to corona because our lungs are getting weak. And those who have recovered from corona, the best of medical advice or treatment they have got says that one of the major damages this novel coronavirus does is to damage your lungs. So that is the reason. And the children, I'm sure, are a little bit worried. What can we do? And there is about 10 lakh people who are associated with the manufacture and sale of firecrackers. Their livelihood is also at stake. We are keeping our fingers crossed. Let's hope that our government comes with some relief package. Okay. Now that I've said that, the second interesting part today is going to be the table topic. I messed up with the table topic master and the third evaluator. And today's table topic master is Toastmaster Jimmy Patros. Toastmaster Jimmy Patros works for a company called Biocon, and he's going to call any one of you. Yes, you are going to be very fortunate to come and speak in this prestigious club. And he'll give you a topic, and you'll have to respond to that. And now that the polls for best speaker is over, I request our table topic master, Jimmy Patros, to take control of the table topic session. Over to you, Toastmaster Jimmy.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Srikant Kutikrishnan. Very good evening, Toastmasters and guests. So I request everybody to please keep your videos on. All right, while we do that, for the benefit of the guest, table topic session is an impromptu speaking session. where I'll be giving you a topic instantly, and you are expected to speak on it for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. Post 2 minutes, you'll be given a 30-second to conclude the speech. So I would encourage everyone to use the word of the day as well. So here we go. May I call upon the first speaker? I request Toastmaster Ranju.
Yes, Jimmy.
Yes, Toastmaster Ranju, your topic is.
Jimmy, I'm not able to hear you.
Am I not audible?
Audible for us. Yeah. Yes, it's audible now. Yeah.
Yeah, Ranju. The topic for you is, with proper diet, exercise, and care, a man can live only a lifetime. I'll repeat it. With proper diet, exercise, and care, a man can live only a lifetime. Toastmaster Ranju.
Thank you, TT Master, for that topic. So the topic is, with proper diet, exercise, and care, a man can only live for a lifetime. So let us first understand the three things. It is basically with exercise and diet and care for ourselves. So I think these three are interlinked in a way, because first one talks about exercise and it gives our body more the most wanted, from our busy schedule, we get a time and we really refresh ourselves through the exercise. And second one, if you see a diet is the most important part for anyone. And whenever we are going for a diet, it should be balanced, and so that we keep healthy. And there are a lot of things about which diet to really prefer, especially during the mornings. During the mornings, you should have a certain type of diet to keep yourself charged throughout the day. And before you go to sleep. So each of the time there is a pattern to which we have to follow a diet. So if we see there is a pattern to exercise, we have to do it for at least 30 minutes a day, and a diet which is balanced with all the nutrients, so that we get enough energy for all the activities. And finally, we will come to care. So care is the self-care that we give to ourselves by giving the proper exercise and diet, and also not overly exhausting yourself. You have to take breaks at the right time. So I think the first two can be connected with the third one. If you do the first two properly, then the third one can be connected. You give proper care to your body. So that is what I could connect between these topics. And I hope it made the sense into the three words. Thank you, Toastmaster Jimmy.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ranju. Indeed, a great attempt. Thank you very much. The next speaker, may I call upon guest Hannah Allen?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Hannah. Your topic is, you are the president of the world.
Okay.
What will be your initiatives?
Okay. Thank you for the topic. If I am given the post of the president of the world, the first thing which I'll be focusing on the unemployment, which is a very major problem which is being faced by all the countries. It's not just India, US, or America, or not just COVID situation. I've been facing, before COVID could come, I was reading newspapers and little articles in the libraries. I used to see that the unemployment rate has been increasing day by day. It's not day by day, it's increasing year by year. Unemployment actually is being caused due to poverty. A lot of poverty is being taking place in all the countries, particularly unemployment. If I am the president of the world, the first and major country which I'll be focusing on the countries like Sudan, like the Eastern or Western Africa, because those countries are being literally every year, if you see the rate of their starvation, it's pretty 99% above of our country. India is much better when it comes to unemployment and poverty rates. But as a president of the world, the first thing which I will be focusing on, eradicate the poverty measures and take time to emphasize on the people who have lost their jobs, give them welfare schemes and measures, and ensure that they do not face any issues regarding unemployment. That's the first thing which I would do as a president of the world. Second thing is maintain your environmental schemes, ensure that your environment is clean. Because when Modi, when he became the prime minister, he brought in a scheme called Swachh Bharat, which is actually of no use. I was just like, wherever you see people, they litter the place, they use a dustbin a lot of times. So I ensure that the environmental measures and schemes should be maintained across all the countries to have a safety and a well-being environment. Third is like focus on the health issues. A lot of health issues are being focused. Like you can take about this AIDS, HIV, which is being caused by due to the proper unstable environment, which is not maintained clean. Sorry. So environmental schemes in order to provoke not the spread of diseases like HIV or AIDS. As a president of the world, I would focus on these three measures. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Ahana. A great idea and ideologies. In fact, the world is missing such presidents. Let's move on. May I call upon Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria, distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria?
Yes, ready. You can shoot me down.
Sure. Here we go. You fell in a jungle and you were caught by a tribal group. You don't know the language. You're tied up on a bamboo stick and being carried away. How do you manage the situation?
Fellow table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. You would have heard me giving a quote, cooperate with the inevitable by Dale Carnegie. So there is no scope, whatever you do, you're going to escape. The best way is to cooperate with them. And best way to cooperate with them means don't do any action. You try to be very friendly with you, and being friendly with you. In fact, we have the earlier ones, there is a manual for a small talk something. So that was also very helpful for a Toastmaster, because you know how to handle a person, a total stranger. You can talk to them, but your action, by your face itself, you can make out to them that you are friendly. So not that you are very anxious. So when you say, I'm very anxious to get out of the place, you say very calm and quiet, so that they know that this man cannot be harmed, because he's quite innocent. Unless we clap, we cannot get the sound, isn't it? Only one side cannot make the sound. So you keep very cool and calm so that they don't harm you. So over a period, you can get out. That is how many of them were caught and come out from the tribals and such people. So best way is to remember Dale Carnegie's quote, cooperate with the inevitable. Over to table topic master.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria. You are a survival man. Any volunteers? Can I call upon Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, your topic is an adventurous thing you wish to attempt.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jimmy. This is a very interesting topic and adventurous thing which I want to attempt. Though I'm not so brave to do many adventures, I usually do trekkings with the small hills around Andhra Pradesh, Tada, Penchalakona, and all those places. I really wanted to do adventure on Himalayas, Mount Everest. That's just my wish, but I don't have that kind of strength and health condition to do it. But at least I would like to try myself walking up to the Himalayas, trying to understand how to survive on that weather conditions. And I heard a very sad story about there are many people who lost their life just before reaching the peak, and they are being more like mummified with this cold temperature. The body still be left there because they couldn't carry. I want to go for this adventure. Look at those people, what they've been struggled so far to reach that place. And even though they didn't reach the Everest, I really believe they are also achievers. They are also like people who reach the peak of Mount Everest. And I would really like to walk up to Mount Everest. And if I'm healthy, successful, I would like to go and put our national flag there on Mount Everest. Thank you for giving me this topic. Thank you.
Great ambition, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
May I call upon Toastmaster Deepak Thompson? Toastmaster Deepak
Jimmy.
Thompson.
Hi, Toastmaster Jimmy.
Yeah, Toastmaster Deepak, you have to give a running commentary for a cricket match for 1 over. Imagine the players are among the Toastmasters. We Toastmasters are the players. So you can have your bowlers, bowler, batsman. Give a running commentary for 1 over.
Okay. So right now, Mr. Jimmy has started running towards the boundary line and he's trying to catch up with the ball. But you see, alas, he dropped and he slipped. And although there is something happening, he just broke his leg. So now there are a fourth stretch of people is coming to collect him. So they're just taking him out of the stretcher, just like taking some apples around it, which is fall from the tree. So now the ball has started. They have started bowling. So now there is a batsman walking into the pitch. Oh, there has come Mr. Satya. Oh, Satya is starting to bat. Okay, so well, I see there is a lot of tension around Satya's eyes, and he is trying to reach out, but he is unable to see the ball. He's trying to clear his head. He wants to. Okay, now he's starting again to warm up his legs and hands. Oh, now the bowler is bowling. Our Alan as is bowling the ball, and now I'm seeing Satya. Oh, he hit a sixer. It's a sixer, and the umpire is just trying to jump up, and he slipped again. Thank you very much.
Great. Toastmaster Deepak Thompson. So I think you made me dead hurt at the very beginning.
Very bad topic.
Thank you. Good done. Well done. In fact, very good. So may I call upon Toastmaster Manoj? Toastmaster Manoj, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Your topic is, should the libraries be replaced with unlimited ebooks? Toastmaster Manoj, should the libraries be replaced with unlimited ebooks?
Should the libraries be changed with unlimited? I Master and fellow Toastmasters, very good evening to all of you. In the olden days, if you see the Kanimara Library or Institute of Chartered Accountants or Cost Accountants Library, you will see people sitting there and taking the notes, and there will be friendship between the readers, and they will be exchanging their views and thoughts. And finally, at the end of the day, they will be in between the discussions, in between the readings, they will go out and have a cup of tea and then come back, and then quickly again, they will brush up the things for the exams or for various subjects. Now, the system is diametrically changing because of the COVID and also the reach. You see, Connemara Library or Institute of Cost Accountants Library or Chartered Accountants or Company Secretaries Library and all, accessible to few public, very few people. But whereas we have got so many people, students, so many readers across India. They all need, why across India, across the globe itself, they all need to reach to the books, reach to the treasure of knowledge, and they have to exchange their views. Now the platform is becoming bigger with ebooks coming into. So I believe with the that the library have to be replaced with the ebooks. But at the same time, those people who are there nearby can utilize the library also. Why we need to replace? We can have both together. Ebooks having a wider platform and the library having a smaller platform where all the people can join together, have the friendship again. Ebook is always better. Thank you.
Great attempt, Toastmaster Manoj. In fact, it is indeed a transition stage. So to ensure a smoother transition, we should have both going together for a while. Can I have guest Akhilesh? Guest Akhilesh, can you unmute yourself?
Yes,
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good going. So here is your topic, guest Akhilesh. What is the unusual thing that you have eaten?
Unusual thing I have eaten is
A strange recipe, which is not very common.
a dosa with a soup.
Great. All right. Tell us more about it. How was it?
Yeah, it was very nice. During my childhood days, I used to eat dosa with soup, and my parents would advise that why are you eating dosa with soup? But I like that recipe.
All right. What soup it was?
It was the Nor soup.
All right.
But it is not a homemade. It was not a homemade soup.
All right, guest Akhilesh.
Okay.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right. Can I have Toastmaster Abhirami?
Yeah. Hi, Toastmaster Jimmy.
Toastmaster Abhirami, tell us the best recipe you make and how you will be presenting it.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Please come again.
What is the best recipe you cook and how will you present it?
Okay. The best recipe that I cook. First of all, whether I cook is a big question, and then comes the best recipe. So cooking, yeah, I've been into cooking for some time, but don't ask me about the output. It's just that when it's cooking, it's all cooking and brewing and smelling good. But when it's on the plate, it's not as good as what I really usually expect it to be. But there's one delicacy that I'm very good at, which is the curd rice. So now this is not a joke. Just like I say, I get a pot of curd and mix it with the rice and make curd rice. But the best part about this delicacy is that once curd rice is done, it'll be garnished with carrot, coriander, pomegranate, and that makes the plain curd rice a complete delicious recipe. And when my guests turn over home, my relatives, this is one thing that I did and that melted their hearts. And my cousin was all the time indicating about that curd rice. So it doesn't really matter whether you know cooking or not, but if you know how to garnish and present your dish, I think that's enough to take it on the table. Yeah. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Julie.
Great, thank you. In fact, curd rice garnished with pomegranate is really good. I like that combination. With that, we come to an end to the table topic session. Thank you very much to all the speakers, and I hand over the control to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Shrikant Kutikrishnan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jimmy, for that wonderful table topic session. Very interesting topics you had. I hope that I could have been one of the participants had I not taken up a PMOD's role. And there's one more interesting thing about Diwali celebration. According to the Indian Diabetic Association, I mean, where they keep track of diabetes. All of you know Diwali is not complete without a no holds bar indulgence in sweets and savories. Firecrackers is one, then comes the savories. When I was about 10, 12 years old, when I was staying in a colony, in a railway colony in Egmore, the first thing that I would be anticipating, I used to celebrate Diwali then, but only the firecrackers and if affordable, a few clothes that I could wear. But the thing that I was waiting was for my neighbors to come and share those sweets and savories. It was all homemade. So that would stay for another couple of days. So what I'm trying to tell is that has taken a back seat now, and now sweets are being outsourced. So that they go to a shop, a well-known sweet shop, and buy sweets. This association, which keeps track of diabetes in India, says post Diwali, there is close to 5 to 10% increase in the cases of new diabetes being detected. And the reason they say is indulgence in sweets. So the big question is, can we not have sweets to our heart content at least once in a year when the whole country is celebrating Diwali? And the other part is, just for one day, you indulge so much and you want to be on insulin or some kind of a medication for the rest of your life? That's a question that different school of thoughts have. But what the doctors suggest is, see, sweet is something that you keep having until you feel satiated, until you don't want to have one more. You have a piece of a sweet. Let's say you have one laddu, if you like laddu or whatever it is, I mean, any milk sweet, Bengali or whatever. You have one. Immediately after that one is over, your mind pushes you to have one more. And they say, stop at that. Don't go for the second. You're saving yourself a lot of trouble in the future. So you have sweets, but in moderation. So this is something very interesting. And the debate goes on, and it also goes on to say that sweet manufacturers have become more innovative now. They don't want to lose business because people have become very smart, not eating sweets to the extent they used to eat. So they've come out with sugar-free sweets. Sugar-free sweets. And these sugar-free sweets, it's got a flip side. What they use instead of our refined sugar is something which is derived chemically, and it is more harmful than the original sugar. I don't know. I mean, it's all what I've read in the papers recently, and totally confusing. So my suggestion is, with due respect to everybody who are listening to me, if possible, make sweets or savories at home and let us go back to the roots, how we used to celebrate. And with this, we are coming to the results of today's meeting. All of you would be very anxious, speakers, role players. Everybody would be anxious to know what the results or what the reports are about the different roles that we have taken up and what the general evaluator has to say. All of you must be having your heart in your mouth, and you should be waiting for all this. And to do the evaluation, general evaluation, I call our president, Toastmaster Guruvairappan, to do the general evaluation. And Toastmaster Guruvairappan, please let us know what you and your team has for us on the table. Over to you, Toastmaster Guruvairappan.
Thank you, Srikanth, for that wonderful intro about. Now, ladies and dear Toastmasters, now I'm back with my team with further results. To why do we need to evaluate ourselves? Because generally in company we have something called performance appraisal. That is to appraise ourselves, to evaluate ourselves, to improve our performance, and so that we improve our career also. So likewise in Toastmaster also we have something called evaluation session, evaluation of prepared speeches and other tag team, which helps us to improve our timing, to avoid using filler words and use proper grammar usage. And for that we have two teams who will be helping us to improve our communication skills. So now let's introduce the first team. First team is prepared speech evaluation. To evaluate the speech given by Vijay Rajan, I request Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, who is working as software engineer in applied materials, to explain to give his evaluation about Vijay Raja's speech. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, stage is yours.
Thank you, Guru. Toastmaster Vijayarajan, why did the world fail to Corona and untold perspective? Wow, this is the topic which brought in curiosity and eagerness to listen to your speech. I want to appreciate you for choosing a topic which is talk of the town and everyone from kindergarten kid to oldest people are talking about. Though we can't see the virus, we have been given an image to visualize the virus and it's been mocked everywhere. They are making virus bondas in the shape of coronavirus. Actually, we can't even see through microscope and they create giving an image to it, eye to it, mouth to it. You have clearly explained that how the 500 crore population, the 500 crore of human resources are wasted and how it's been exploited by the corporates. In your term, the so-called Kuttu Kalavani. You explained that we people are not focusing on reality like air, water, corona. Instead, focusing on fictional reality like money and stock market. Example of how we can't trade banana for money from a monkey clearly explains how we are getting deceived by fictional reality. Finally, you ended up the speech with a strong message that the nation is market and people are consumers. That is the biggest takeaway I get from your speech. Though I liked your speech very much, I have few suggestions to give. The first one is which I need to improve myself as well. I know it's difficult to express in front of camera due to the limitations we have, but still I would suggest to be in your speech to be more expressive with a good body language so that it reaches to the audiences and communicates with the audience. And then the second point I would like to say is, though you explain the untold perspective, I felt it's your own perspective. It could have been more authentic if you gave reference to justify your points. Some expert view from some health department or some article references. It could have helped your points. And then the last point I would suggest is you told that we people are focusing on fictional reality than actual reality. And I think there could be some suggestion on how to change our perception from fictional reality to actual reality. And these are the 3 points I would suggest. And overall, I thoroughly enjoyed your eye-opener speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Vijayarajan. And over to Guru Ayappan.
Thank you, Lakshmi Narayana, for this wonderful evaluation. Now I request Ranju to give his evaluation for the speech given by Nanda. Ranju is working as a production manager in Asian Paints and he has been Toastmaster for past 2.5 years. Now, Ranju, the stage is yours. Ranju?
Thank you, General Evaluator. So today my target speaker, good evening one and all, and target speaker, congratulate you for attempting such a event, such a project which has podcast related with. So this has not been attempted in CTM in quite some time. It's one of the most different project which is there, and in terms of the objectives that has to be delivered in this particular podcast. So that is the first thing which I want to tell. And the second one would be coming to the topic which you had presented. The beginning was really attractive and it had really engaged us towards the podcast. So everybody was willing to listen to the podcast, and the beginning usually gives a good pitch. Actually, if you open any podcast in your the podcasts out there, the beginning usually have a good catch to it, so that the audience keeps engaged, because it is mainly the voice which really pulls in the people and keeps them listening to the voice. So kudos to the beginning of yours. Now coming to the structure of the speech. So the structure was perfect in terms of intro. You had given a good beginning, and then you had later on moved to the Thomas Edison story, where you given a lot of positive comments, and then finally had a good conclusion with respect to saying the words had a really powerful impact on what the actions which play out there. So that was a good structure as well. And overall, it was good positivity in the speech. Now, if I should go to the recommendations part, so the first thing I remember is the speech which you had given past, the Kutti stories. You had given a speech where you used a lot of vocal variety in that, in terms of all the different animals and different, all characters in a jungle sort of thing. So I felt that you could have used that vocal variety here, because a podcast, what engages the audience is the vocal variety which you use. Maybe in the intro, you could use a different tone, and when you conclude, you could come to a really positive tone where you could give smile, and you could really engage the audience with that message of yours. And so that is what I felt you could have just, connected better, and you could deliver the ending with a punch and a positivity over there. Now, second one is the content which was shared was really engaging. It was Thomas Edison's personal experience. But I felt as a podcaster, if I go for a podcast, I present it and I deliver my own personal story, people would be really, really interested to listen, because it would be new and it has not been delivered before, because it is my story. So that is, even though Thomas Alva Edison's story is really inspiring for all of us, I really felt key if we could bring a personal story of ours into the picture, maybe along with the story which was presented, it could add a lot more value. Is one other suggestion which I could feel. And I think with overall with these two recommendations, if you could deliver these two, I think it would be really engaging to the audience, and it would be a perfect podcast. And I'm sure you can put this podcast out in YouTube or any other platform out there, and it will really go well. So all the best, Toastmaster Nanda, and looking forward to your future speeches. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Ranju, for that wonderful evaluation for Nanda's speech. Now I request third evaluator Gautam Amdala, who is a student of IIM Raipur and a past Toastmaster of CTM. Requested him to give his evaluation for Toastmaster Jason's speech. Now, Gautam, stage is yours.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Toastmaster Guruvayurappan, for that wonderful introduction for me. And good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests, and a special good evening for my target speaker, Toastmaster Jason. So, leadership qualities, communication, all these buzzwords are trending nowadays. So first of all, congratulations for you for attempting this project in your pathways. So you started off your speech using a Chinese word, which a syllable, which divided into body and the mind, and how they performed in all these situations. And you link that with fear, what are all the fear that we have and what are all the fear that we face because of the externalities. And then you brought up an idea like what we can do to overcome this fear and what we have to do internally as well as externally in order to overcome those fears. And then you gave a shape and thought for this idea. In order to support this, you brought in the idea about the story about the Sandeep Singh, who was a former hockey player, where he was paralyzed and then he recovered from it, and then again he went on to play for his team. And again, you brought in the idea, brought in the story of about Shackleton, who inculcated confidence into his ship crew. So it was a very well structured speech, Toastmaster Jason, according to me. And then you had you had to deliver a speech about the leadership style. And in order to support your leadership style, you had very good analogies by bringing in Sandeep Singh and Shackleton. And then the way you represented it, you gave him the idea, and then you gave the analogy, and then you gave him the conclusion part. And it was very well structured. What I felt where you could have improved your speech is that the lack of personal touch. There are tons and tons of stories out there to speak about the leadership, to speak about the positivity, to speak about the inspiration. But which story connects most to the audience? The story is our story. That is your story. You could have inculcated your own leadership style where you have transformed yourself from being a normal person into a great leader. That small part would have connected more with the audience, and also it would have impacted the audience more. so that they can remember your speech a very longer period of time. And second is the voice modulation. Throughout your speech, Toastmaster Jason, you are very monotonous. While while explaining about Sandeep Singh, you could have said like, Sandeep Singh was prepared for his lifetime opportunity, but at the end, he met something hit him. He was paralyzed. Something like that. So by adding these vocal varieties and all, it would have created much more impact on the audience. So with that, your speech was fabulous. So looking forward for your future speeches. Over to the general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Gautam, for this wonderful evaluation. Now coming to my second set of team, about timer, counter, grammarian type evaluation. Now first, let me introduce timer Satyaraj. Please give us the timer taken by each and every speaker for the benefit of audience and Toastmasters. Please, the stage is yours, Satyaraj.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Guru Ippan. So today, so all Toastmaster speakers and evaluators and table topic speakers all are qualified. So I will list out the speakers. Toastmaster Vijayarajan, 6 minutes 39 seconds. Speaker Toastmaster Nanda, 6 minutes 59 seconds. And Toastmaster Johnson, 7 minutes 18 seconds. Evaluators, Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, 2 minutes 56 seconds. Toastmaster Ranju, 3 minutes 16 seconds. Toastmaster Gautam, 3 minutes 28 seconds. In table topic, Toastmaster Ranju, 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Helen, 2 minutes 12 seconds. Toastmaster Abraham, 1 minute 22 seconds. Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayanan, 1 minute 34 seconds. Toastmaster Deepak, 1 minute 9 seconds. Toastmaster Manoj, 2 minutes 7 seconds. Toastmaster Akhilesh, 1 minute 47 seconds. Toastmaster Abhirami, 1 minute 12 seconds. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Guru Ippan.
So thank you, Satyaraj, for that wonderful evaluation. Now I request counter Manoj to submit his counter report. Manoj, stage is yours.
Very good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters, especially general evaluator. My accounting reports is as follows. The presiding officer has used extra behind the word behind extra one more time, and there was a long pause, and so he has used 2 times. The TMOD has used and 3 times, and once he said that were are, then that sentence was cancelled. Then well, that way he said twice. Then speaker 1, it's flawless and there was no os, I could trace it. Speaker 2, there were long pauses, abrupt pauses 3 times. And speaker 3, he has used and 3 times or many times. Has his or and then he said again or. Then 4 times he has used. Then make a, then he said, then he cancelled that sentences. There was 2 times he said same.
You are muted, Manoj. Can you unmute yourself? You cannot hear.
1 minute. I believe I have stopped at one particular place, so maybe evaluation. So evaluator 1, he said here 2 times in the evaluation, and while explaining the objective to the speaker, he has used a 5 times. Then evaluator 2 has and he has used 2 times, Ranju, and then a he has used 3 times. Then evaluator number 3, he has used and 1 time. Then the word then he has used 5 times. Then the table topic speakers here Toastmaster Ranju 2 times he has used are, and the guest Ahana actually the word here she has used 2 times. 1 time. Then sorry also the word that she has used. Then Lakshmi Narayanan, ye 4 times, and she has used 4 times. Then Manoj 7 hours and 3 times used and. Then Toastmaster Akhilesh, there was abrupt pause, long pause in his speech. That's it. This here ends my report of accounting. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Manoj, for that wonderful report. Now I request the third evaluator, Gautam, Deepak, the grammarian, to submit his report. Deepak?
Thank you, General Evaluator. I am sharing screen. Please let me know if you are able to see.
Yes.
Okay. So I would like to appreciate and thank DTM Abraham for using the word of the day, glimpse. And I would appreciate it more if everyone else also would included this word of the day today. Thank you. And apart from that, I did see a lot of good usages and good sentences being used through the session. Some of these words: exile, impromptu, fictional entity, podcast, turmoil. We have turmoil in our hands. All those are like good usage of words it's used. And some of the sentences, quotes, and idioms also I learned here newly. Keep your shirt on, calm down, and untold perspective, partner in crime, tip of the iceberg. And the leaders are forced in crisis. We are leaders, it takes a little initiatives. And we are keeping our fingers crossed and cooperate with the inevitable. So these are some of the wonderful quotes and sentences being used. And however, there are some places we need some improvements, which I can catch up. What could be better? We can mention it as what can be improved. So, and I will wish to all, when we are wishing, I would suggest, I would like to wish you all, or I wish you all, we can put it up instead of I will wish to, the two will not be there. Because of this, we fell a victim to unreal virus. So because of this, we became victims to this unreal virus. So we can use that. And thank you, Mr. for the awesome welcome to me. So the awesome welcome to me is something not said right. So thank you for you. Thank you for your wonderful introduction and welcome. That would be good, better. We could, and one more thing is, what could be better? Instead of what could be better, what could be done better, we can use it in that way. And there is time it is used during the mornings. Instead of during the mornings, we can use every morning or in the morning. We can mention it that way. So that ends my report, grammarian report. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, grammarian, for the detailed report. Now it is time to submit my report. Meeting started on time. Yes, Sergeant at Arms mentioned the rules, ground rules properly and clearly audibly to all, which is audible to all. President also gave a brief intro and straight away he jumped into the action. He also wished about the role players for the previous milestone meeting. Then Toastmaster of the day, he explained the importance of Deepavali and he also made an opening, made an important, very good opening about Deepavali, and he also started well. And all the prepared speakers had done a very good job. They are brilliant. They prepared brilliantly and delivered the speech properly. Then coming to table topic session, Jimmy Patros did a wonderful job. He selected the right person, and also the topics were relatively simple, and they're able to speak, and speakers are able to speak fluent properly. And now coming to evaluation part, and all the evaluators did a wonderful job. They maintained the decorum of evaluation, and they really maintained that, and they gave a very crisp CRC sandwich format of evaluation. Now coming to tag team, they also did a wonderful job, despite being first timer, and our counter also being a first timer, I think they did a wonderful job. Grammarian and Deepak Thompson also wonderful job. Did a wonderful job. Only thing, my suggestion is to make sure that all people join on time to check for audio and network video connectivity. Apart from that, I think the meeting went on well. And now I request hand over control to TMOD. Before handing control to TMOD, I request Sergeant at Arms to launch the polls for TT speaker, best role player and evaluator. With this, I hand over control to Toastmaster of the Day, Srikant Kuttikrishnan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I request you to mark your ballots for the best TT speaker. The next poll you're going to see on your screen. Yeah, the best evaluator. And the next poll is for a tag player, timer, R counter, and grammarian. And our next poll is going to be for the best role player, I would say. Best role player. I think we have done with the polls. And before I hand over the control back to president of our club, I think we are having a little more time that I would like to share something interesting about Diwali. Before I share about Diwali, can you tell me what the word Diwali literally means? You could unmute, because I've been doing a lot of talking. I want to hear from you. What do you think is the meaning of the word Diwali or Deepavali? Any one of you? You can unmute.
Row of lights.
Ah, that's wonderful. Who was that?
Guru Ayyappan.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You have your heart and soul in celebrating Diwali. The other interesting aspect of Diwali is, you know, Diwali outside India. Have any of you have an idea which country or which part of any other country than India Diwali is celebrated on a very grand scale? I mean, the grand scale is more number of people celebrating Diwali outside India. Any guess? Any country or a particular country, and there's a city in that country where Diwali is being celebrated?
Bali. Nepal.
Sorry?
Bali. Nepal.
No, Bali
Nepal.
is being, yeah.
Indonesia.
It is, but in Nepal, Diwali is a national holiday. There are almost 10 to 12 countries where holiday is being declared on a Diwali. And the most interesting thing is our good friend, our good neighbor, I would say, Pakistan. It's an optional holiday in Pakistan for Diwali. That's very heartening to hear. And outside India, in the United Kingdom, England, there's a city called Leicester, Leicester. where Diwali is being celebrated on a very grand scale. And if I'm right, I think Diwali is being mentioned as one of the major festivals across the globe as per United Nations. I'm not sure. I just heard. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I heard Diwali is being mentioned as one of the major festivals that is being celebrated. And Diwali is also a great booster for consumer spending. And this year, it's so surprising, though we have a loss of job, people losing their livelihood, people going to bed on an empty stomach because of this corona, all negative things are happening. But our Ministry of Commerce and Industry has come with a very strange statistics. It says the spending power among Indians this particular year has not shrunk, which means disposable income is there with people to spend during this Diwali. And as a prelude to that, they say the GST collection has been good during this pandemic season. It's very interesting. It's really promising when most of the other countries are going through a lot of turmoil and lot of, I don't know, they're not able to make both ends meet. And if one goes up, the other slides down. It's vice versa. It's kind of a lopsided development in other nations. But India seems to be doing relatively well. And the flip side of this is the brick and mortar showrooms in India. The consumer spending there is on the decline because of social maintenance, distancing and all kind of stuff. But the e-commerce giants are having the last laugh. All of them are laughing their way to the bank. A lot of money, and that is the reason two major giants, e-commerce giants in India, I don't want to take names, that would become more of an advertising for them. Both of them are having back-to-back sales. And that is the reason if we feel that the money is really being generated. I don't know, God bless everybody who's spending. I'm so happy to hear that. And other interesting things about Diwali is that it generates wealth among the people on a superstitious belief. They say on a Diwali, when you light up a lamp and when you share the joy of Diwali and when you distribute sweets and when you have a positive energy, it is more of a psychology. Oh, there's one more quote, one more poll come for the quote and the idiom master. So it says that if you feel good by doing good to others, sharing your joy, it is not scientifically proven, but the belief is when you feel good and when you share that good, when you give more, the universe is willing to give back to you more than what you have given. So that is the reason most of the businesses are launched, or the first sale, a new business which is launching, they have their first sale on a Diwali day. These are all kind of about scientifically not proven, but it is a strong belief. Well, when it comes to terms of believing something, you don't bring science into it. You don't have your logical mind to find a reason why you have to believe that. But these are the things, and there are other so many interesting things about Diwali. And one more thing about Diwali is in India, it is among the Jains and the Sikhs and the Buddhists and whoever it is, Diwali is celebrated in different names, but the theme and the ideology is the same: good over evil. Light has come, light has overtaken darkness. So this Diwali is no reason, from my personal perspective, I think we still have time. Let me just drag you on for a few more minutes and hand over to the president. So to my perspective, though we have seen unforeseen time in the last 6 to 7 months, all of us were, and the first few months of this pandemic, March, April, I mean, we were frightful. And that fright seems to have been coming down because of the good work done by various agencies. And a big thank you to our frontline workers who are trying to control this COVID, the doctors and the paramedics, and each one of you are maintaining social distancing and wearing masks. See, the point is, let us not have any negative thought about the situation that is confronting us to pull us down from the human being that we were, being a happy person, sharing love and joy with our friends, and also doing good to others. Let us take this pandemic situation as a bad dream in our life, but that doesn't give us room to be relaxed. It doesn't give room to be take it easy. We need to be on the guard. At the same time, we need to move forward with our life. Diwali is the beginning of a very bright future that is lying ahead of us. The pandemic is a thing of the past. It's there, it's being controlled, and it is always being proven right from time immemorial. The collective will and the collective wisdom of mankind can overcome any challenge. Anything that we confront, we can overcome that. But it all begins with each one of you having the confidence that we only live once and we can only do more and more good things during our lifetime. With these few words, me and my spouse Danila Srikanth and my two sons Siddharth and Sarang joins me in wishing you all a very happy and prosperous and a blessed Diwali for all of you, and may God bless you with all prosperity, good health and wealth. May you all stay safe. We have a bright future for all of us. India is rocking. Back to Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you very much and God bless. Thank you, and to the president of our club. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Srikanth, for that wonderful detailed analysis about the Deepavali. Now, I have one important thing to share. Last week, before milestone meeting, one day before, we announced identify the Toastmasters contest by displaying a photo, by sharing a photo in our CTM main group. So DTM Lalita Giridhar has identified nearly 16 to 17 Toastmasters in the photo, and she has been declared as the winner. She'll be sent a gift voucher of Amazon gift voucher of ₹500 to her. So I just wanted to announce this. Now let's take some feedback from the guest. Guest Agilesh.
Yes.
Yeah, your feedback. Feedback about today's meeting, sir.
It was an excellent meeting, but I didn't speak well because I didn't prepare for today's class.
Now, guest Yogesh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please, sir. Your feedback about today's meeting, sir.
Video is not working. Sorry, it started now.
No, no
It's
problem.
very good to see all in virtually and everybody is coordinating properly. This is my second time attending this Toastmaster Club, and I'm very excited to join as soon as possible. And I'm seeing the involvement of all members, the jurors and the participants. They're very well involved and doing very good. Thank you for the opportunity to accept me as a guest.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Yogesh. Now, Ahana. Ahana, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Please, sir, your feedback about today's meeting, ma'am.
I've been attending for like almost a month, I guess, 2 months. I didn't have gap because I had exams. I had to go to college and all. College work was there, and now I'm back. It's actually very informative, very innovative. Like I like the way every theme, the word which you're using for each day, it's really good. And I like CTM meetings, and I'm hoping to join as a member soon, and come for the offline meetings too. So it's really good, helpful, informative. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Anna. You are welcome to join.
I'm hoping to learn more.
Thank you. Okay, everyone is hoping to learn more.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now with this, it is time for me to declare the results of today's meeting. The best, please unmute yourself and big round of applause for the winners. Best role player for the day goes to Toastmaster of the Day, Srikanth Kuttikrishnan. Best tag role award goes to grammarian TM Deepak Thompson. Best quote/idiom master goes to Quote Master DT Abraham Zakaria. And the best evaluator award goes to Toastmaster Ranju Ramachandran. Best tabletop speaker award goes to DTM Abraham Zakaria. Best speaker award goes to Toastmaster Vijay Rajan. So congrats to all the winners. With this, I adjourn the meeting to next week. and I hand over and let's join for an informal meeting.
Everyone, please switch on your videos. I'll just take a photograph.